Hey guys, I'm back and we're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. What's up, Slayer? How you doing? Today we're going to be checking out. I'm struggling to frame this. It is a blueprint. We're checking out a blueprint. It's a secret blueprint, uh, although people should know about this one by now. It's a known secret blueprint now. But I'm not sure whether to dub it as an Easter egg blueprint, which is what I think I'm going to side to, or if this is just a challenge blueprint and simple as that. Since this is a bit of a secret challenge, it is a challenge, but secret challenge, and there are steps to get to it that are also secret. Not to mention the area is a mystery. I'm going to dub this as an Easter egg blueprint reward for the Dark Aether, Aether, I don't know, Dark Aether conquered. Like if you conquer the Dark Aether, there's a blueprint reward. And when I say conquer it, it means you complete all three rewards. All three of the contracts in the Dark Aether. And I believe. All right, let's go through the challenge requirements and then we'll check out the blueprint. So to get the Dark Aether Conquered blueprint, or Easter secret blueprint, Easter egg blueprint, whatever, the steps require you not only to get access to the Dark Aether Rift, so you need to, there's so much confusion with this area that I'm already not 100% certain about everything about how to access the Dark Aether. 100% if you want personal access, you need to complete the Act 4 story mission, which I believe you don't even need to complete the previous acts. As long as you want to, you can select the Act 4 mission and you can access it and complete it whenever. You can probably do it right off the bat. My friend Dragon, yesterday we completed the Act 4 story mission. I don't think he's even completed Act 1 yet. He's in the middle of Act 1 so far, but he selected the Act 4 and we were able to complete it for him. Jay, what's up? Welcome. So there's that. You can complete it even if you don't haven't completed the previous acts. Just make sure you select the mission so you get credit for the completion. Once you complete the Act 4 mission, which takes you into the Dark Aether, but there's a specialized quest for the storyline. Once you complete that, you have to then collect several items on Urzikstan, the regular zombie map, right? The main map. There's several parts that you need to collect, and you have to go through several steps, like collecting the part requires certain items and weaponry and stuff like that, and interacting with things certain ways. Collect the part, then you have to interact with the rift, go through the rift and go through another rift, and there's multiple steps, secret steps, right, or whatever, or hidden steps that you need to complete that will eventually get you the 4 gold parts that you can take to the pedestal where the Dark Aether Rift usually will spawn, right? It's on the island, it's an island in the red zone, okay? So once you get all 4 parts and you've got all of that, then you can interact with the pedestal. Then you'll have to have a big boss fight against a Mega Abomination. Defeat the Mega Abomination, and a rift will open up. You'll get your reward, which will finally give you permanent access to the Dark Aether zone. Although you need now sigils, whether it's Elder Sigil or just the regular sigils, to interact with the Dark Aether portal and send you there. Okay? So already there's several secret steps to get to that. Now, I'm not going to walk you through each step. There are tons of people who have already created guides on how to do that stuff. So I suggest looking that up if you want a specific guide for that. We're just going to go briefly through what you need to do so you can earn this blueprint. So now that you've got access to the Dark Aether, you need to enter it. And there are 3 secret contracts or hidden contracts. It's not marked out on your map. Your map's kind of jammed, got a UAV jammer on it, so you can't really see the map properly and all. So you need to know where these bunnies are that activate the contracts. There are only 3 contracts in the Dark Aether zone, and by completing all 3 contracts. Now, again, here's the hazy part. I'm not totally certain, although I suspect, based on what other people have said, you need to complete all 3 contracts in the same match to earn this final reward, the Conquered Dark Aether blueprint. So I don't think it's, again, not 100% certain. It might be different. Maybe if you complete one mission one time and then you exfil and then complete the other 2 missions another time, maybe it'll give you credit. I don't know. But as far as I know, you need to complete all 3 in the same sitting. So there's the kind of like basis of all the like secret aspects to getting into the Dark Aether and completing the contracts and then finally earning the reward. Now, there's also other question marks that I have behind this. I suspect as long as someone in your squad has access to the Dark Aether, I think you can potentially go into that area and fight that out. So you might not even need to complete Act 4. But again, I'm not 100% on this. Like, I was under the impression you needed to complete the Act 4 mission and all, and that's the only way you'll get access to it. But I was already wrong about like needing to complete Act 1, 2, and 3 before you can get access to Act 4. No, you can do that right off the bat. So I wouldn't be surprised if, as long as someone in your squad has access to the Dark Aether and has a sigil, they can interact with it and you can go in with them. So that might be the case. Again, question marks on that. I'm not 100%. Don't hold me to that one. But it might be possible. You can enter that zone as long as someone in your squad does. I suspect, like, yesterday I was chill playing with the zombies mode where we actually completed this by the end of the stream. And I suspect one of the squads we went in with randos, the 2 players that went in didn't complete the mission because they refused to even do the contracts and all. They were just totally like a waste when we went in, and that kind of got us into a little bit of trouble in that match. So that's why I think maybe you don't even need to complete it as long as someone in your squad's going in. Now, also when you're interacting with the Dark Aether Rift, it will ask you if you want to enter, so you have to kind of accept the contract also. So there is you need to accept the contract to go in, but as long as enough members accept, then it'll pull the other members in, so there's that also. So yeah, that's the basics of it. A few tips I can give is, now if you go into the basic sigil entry of the Dark Aether, not the Elder sigil, the hard version of it, the basic one gives you a longer timeline. I think it gives you like 30 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure exactly the timeline, but it's a longer timeline to complete the 3 missions, you know. If you go into the harder version, the Elder Sigil, you only have 15 minutes, I think, to complete whatever you can before you need to exfil, right? So definitely if you're going for the blueprint, might be a little wiser to go into the basic one, the base sigil one. So you have that extra time. Also the zombies, I don't know if the difficulty of the zombies are any different, or I think the harder version definitely spawns more special zombies and like the elite zombies or whatever, right? And like more mega abominations and stuff like that. So like, it's a lot harder that way. But I don't know if like the actual zombie difficulty is any different. So regardless of basic or hard version, the zombies are still going to be pretty brutal, a little bit tougher, quite a bit tougher than the red zone, but not so much so if you're well prepared. So as long as you've got like a triple pack gun with a higher rarity thing like purple or legendary, you're probably going to be okay as long as, again, your squad's also set up that way. You're also probably going to want to have self-revives and stuff like that. So there's 3 contracts. Now this is going to be the like little like tips I can give you for the 3 contracts. One is where the rockets kind of drop down and you have to like interact with the rocket and blow them up. And those will be on the 3 roofs. Just watch some videos so you know the like pathway to those rockets. Because people have already figured out very efficient ways to get to the rockets on the roof, interact with it quickly, and then move on to the other 2. So there's 3 of them. You need to interact with the 3 in a timeline. If you don't interact with the 3 in a set timeline, you fail the contract, right? But like I said, if you watch some videos of people doing those contracts, you'll see good pathways that like the more experienced players have used to get to that. So there's that. Then there's an Outlast contract. One of the bunnies will give you an Outlast contract. This one's a little bit easier, but it'll spawn in a lot of zombies. You just have to survive in the Outlast area. As long as you're in the area, it'll be progressing through the timer. And if you can survive long enough, it'll complete the contract. Again, clearing out the zombies a little bit helps survive, you know. But I have seen people who don't even go in with guns and they just run around in circles and they're able to like kind of herd the zombies in a way so like they can kind of get away with completing that contract without even doing anything. The final challenge, again, depending on which bunnies you pick, they're set in not only the location, but also the contract. So it's not the final mission, but the third bunny, right, is the escort mission. This is by far the toughest one because you need to escort the machine, the truck or the tank, whatever, and keep its health up long enough through the entire escort to complete the mission. And this is going to bring in lots of zombies trying to destroy the thing. So this is where sort of you need the largest squad to help you clear out the zombies and protect it. From my experience yesterday, having sentry guns on top of the tank, you pop a couple of sentry guns on top of the tank, that'll help. Also, like in the first one, like I don't even think we used a juggernaut, but also those Casimir grenades and all, those will help clear out the zombies once they get close to the truck, and also you can throw one of those. So if you have stockpiled on those will help. You know, monkey bombs and stuff like that will keep them off the truck. But yeah, you're still going to want to go in a pretty well organized group that's doing that section because the tank will take a lot of damage quick if the zombies kind of overwhelm you and start banging on that truck, and they'll destroy it, right? So once you complete all three, again, I'm not 100% certain. I think you just automatically get the blueprint. The pop-up will pop up saying, you know, Dark Aether conquered, Geode blueprint unlocked, right? So I don't even think you need to exfil. You might, even if you die in there, it's not a big deal. I think you'll still earn the blueprint, but you know, better to exfil. The other small tip I can give you, if you go in with Tombstone into the Dark Aether, I think there's a little misconception that your Tombstone will be stuck in there. No. If you die in the Dark Aether with Tombstone, like Soda, you got that like perk, your Tombstone will spawn into Urzikstan, like on the outer edge near the graveyard, near like one of the like buildings. So as long as you die in the Dark Aether and you've got Tombstone, you'll still retain everything. And you just can jump in and collect everything in the like next match. So maybe make sure you go in with the good sodas to perk up properly. Also, yeah, it was pretty nutty completing it yesterday. We ended up doing the base one, all three, which was very impressive. And then we decided to go into the Elders sigil version of the Dark Aether, the hard version. And we just slammed all three again in the same match, which was pretty impressive. That one, during the escort mission, it was very dicey. We needed to, like, we had 2 sentry guns on top of the tank. We were all protecting it. And we ended up having to call in our jugs, like a couple, like first, like in the second, like, you know, extraction of the tank, where the tank was extracting, teammate called in his jug. And then on the third one, I called in my jug, and we just kept on clearing out the zombies that way. So that helped. Also, just a small tip, if you call in your jug in front of the tank, I've heard that can disrupt the tank and completely fail the tank. So make sure you're calling in your jug behind the tank's pathway so you can get into the jug and clear things out. Like, honestly, you can blast into the tank with the jug. You're not going to damage the tank. It's the zombies that damage the tank. So if the tank is like overwhelmed with zombies, just start blasting into them and you can clear them out without having to worry about destroying the tank. So yeah, those are the steps. Again, you only need to complete it on the base one. You don't actually need to do all 3 in the Elder Sigil. That doesn't give you any secret item other than the schematics, right? The 3 schematics that you can earn from there. But yeah, let's go ahead now and check out the blueprint now that tips and challenge is explained. So you get the MCW Assault Rifle Geode blueprint. This is the final secret reward, completionist or conquered reward for the Dark Aether section. Let's go ahead and play the preview animation and get a closer look. So yeah, it's just a blueprint, not anything amazing. And I'm going to be straight up honest. Like, I know that MCW is a very popular weapon. So it's going to be a nice blueprint to have in the collection. But I have looked over this build already, and it is pretty disappointing. 1 minute. So build-wise might not be the best thing. Build-wise might not be the best thing at all. We'll go through the build soon. So this blueprint comes with 5 attachments, and one of the attachments is the conversion kit, a Jack Raven kit for the MCW. Those of you who don't know, it's not a great kit for the MCW. It's actually kind of detrimental in attachment. But yeah, it comes with that. So let's go through the attachments and see what you get. The Shadow Strike Suppressor, which is undetectable by radar. The SL Carter Heavy Barrel, which is a recoil control, aiming idle sway, gun kick control at the cost of movement speed, sprint to fire speed, and aim down sight speed. The Corvus Ghost View optic. This is such a stupid optic for this blueprint. It's going to be an instant remove, this optic. I can guarantee it. Thermal target identification. It's a 4x magnification. You've got a very small sniper glint, aim down sight speed, and aim walking speed is the cons. It's a really bad optic. Right off the bat, I can tell you I'm going to struggle with the games where we're using the blueprint as is. Guaranteed I'm going to struggle. But I don't know, man. Even if I do poorly with it, just understand it's a bad build, the way they've thrown this together. Then you get the Jack Raven kit, which is supposed to give you a rate of fire boost, damage at close range, mobility and handling at the cost of damage, recoil control, bullet velocity, and range. Yeah, this basically just completely ruins the range of this gun. So it no longer is a good long-range weapon. The recoil is quite unmanageable also with this kit. And then coupled with the optic, it makes no sense because, like I said, this becomes a close range build for the gun. And then you've got a long range optic. It's just so silly, a combination. And like I said, because of the scoped in zoom and the extra recoil, it's probably going to be very difficult to stay on target. I mean, it's just so stupid a build, man, when you combine this stuff together. And then finally, you get the .30 BLK frangible ammunition, which is no enemy skulls. You can inflict a wounding effect at the cost of bullet penetration and damage range. So everything in this build is basically like reducing range and stuff like that, except maybe this barrel is not. No, the barrel is not doing anything for range. So yeah, everything's reducing the range of it, and then they've gone and thrown on a very scoped in optic. So it's just really not a well thought out, at least out of everything, at least the optic needs to be changed at the very least. Fortunately, let's go through the attachments and see how it looks when you change things around. So like I said, fortunately, at least the optic looks basically default. So even if you change it or remove it and all, you're probably going to get away with still maintaining the blueprint pretty well. So you don't need to worry too much. Like, honestly, this is not... There's actually another issue. Even in zombies, there's a bit of an issue with this blueprint. I'll get to it at the end, though. But yeah, that's the optic. laser attachments if you decide to throw one on. Barrel. Again, the parts that you can change around seem like it's pretty viable to, like, you know, it's quite editable, right? Because they basically look default. It's mainly just like the main body and part of the like grip and ammunition that's special. There's so many attachments. The ammunition won't change anything visually. Here we're gonna remove the kit now because, well, it doesn't show it properly when you remove it here. Remove it. So when you remove the kit, the ammunition's also tied to that. Okay, so now you see it without the kit. So you are losing elements of the blueprint once you swap things around, including the magazine. Right? Fortunately, the kit isn't tied to at least some of the elements of the blueprint design, right? The Aether top. But yeah, ammunition. So you are a little bit tied to this kit, you know. You are tied to it a little bit to make sure you get the blueprint's full effect. So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Just right off the bat, I'll tell you, build-wise, the way it is, you're definitely going to want to make some adjustments to make it more viable. Minimal adjustment is the optic, because that's going to just be rough to use. I already can guarantee you, I apologize for the first few games where I'm using the blueprint the way it is, because it's going to be very difficult for me to like utilize it with the time to kill in this game. Maybe in hardcore you can get away with it. Also, before we go into the camo coverage, just heads up, I tried to equip this blueprint in zombies, and it removed the Jack Raven kit and some of the attachments are tied to it. So for some reason, when I was trying to equip this blueprint, it wouldn't equip it with the conversion kit. I guess maybe the conversion kit isn't in the zombies mode or something when you try to equip it as a weapon, or maybe it's a bug. So right off the bat, Easter egg, zombies blueprint, secret blueprint, can't even utilize it in its full effect in zombies. Not to mention the build doesn't really make sense for zombies either, having that scoped in optic, right? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, just heads up. Maybe that's a bug and they'll fix it in the future. Hopefully they do. This is the camo coverage for the gun. Now, I definitely recommend you go through the camos. We'll go through a few of them, but yeah, unfortunately, mastery camos, you lose the entire blueprint. So if you want to like equip mastery camos to rock on it, you might as well not bother, maybe. Again, a little bit unfortunate. Again, same with the zombie mastery camos. Now, the reason also I suggest maybe going through it is some of the base camos also will kind of cancel out the blueprint visuals. Not everything. So some of them look pretty decent on it, you know. Some of them will remove it. So it's kind of random which ones do what with it. I don't know. So we're not going to go through every single camo, but just be aware. Camo coverage is a bit strange on this one, and the mastery camo is a little bit disappointing because it just takes over the whole blueprint. So yeah, big intro for the blueprint to go through what you need to do and what not. Let's jump in and play some games. Again, I'm gonna just straight up say, if I get dutied on, I'm not redoing that intro. So it's gonna be me getting dutied on for the next 2-3 games where we try the blueprint the way it is. So be it. So be it. Oh, man. I'm already like so worried about the gameplay. I'm gonna have to like, you got this close range build, but this long range optic. You're not gonna be able to like quick scope people with this build. Okay, it's just not gonna happen. You're not doing that. So you have to play like cautiously. And even when you're playing cautiously, you're gonna need longer range like effects, but this gun's not as effective longer range. I don't know what they were thinking with the optic at the very least, man. Really? Why the 4X thermal scopes? Like, even if you throw smoke, right? You still want to get a little close to make it effective. The 4X thermal scopes is not going to help. There's a closer range thermal scope that will help. Why give me a 4X? Yeah. I mean, I'm just leaving this one. This one looks like enemy team might already have them kind of pinned down. Try to get a full game, even regardless. Any pin down, I would have still got duty on. Maybe for the second game, I'll change the optic, so it won't be completely as is build wise. But man, some sort of basic optic adjustment, I feel minimum. Even then, it'll still be a bit of a struggle. Like the Jack Raven kit itself is. Like, I didn't do any testing personally. I was just watching Exclusive Aces, like stat testing for it. Oh, that's the one thing we can do. I forgot about that. But here are the stats for the blueprint, in case you're interested in that. I presume this includes all the attachments when you show the stats like this. Dude, why are they putting me in these like I'm not playing that. That's also almost finished. It's a waste of time. Yeah, yesterday I've already unlisted the stream because it was just a chill play zombie stream. I wasn't specifically going to complete these missions like in that stream, but I did kind of want to do it if the opportunity arose, kind of thing. And the last squad we got into was quite effective. And then we like squatted up again to do the Elders Rift. And hey, you too, man. Just buzz off. Yeah, the Elders one we just kind of stomped through. Like it was beastly. It was beastly. Again, you can do those contracts in any order in the Dark Aether. So what we decided to do was just straight up go for the escort mission first, and then after we completed the escort mission, the other two, you know, were like quick and easy kind of things. I got the hard one out of the way first. Dude, they match me up against the same people all the time, dude. Like, there's no variation whatsoever. These guys are sweats. I know it already. I recognize some of the names. This optic is just... I already don't want to play this with this gun anymore. Hey, we got a kill. Let's go. I didn't want to like aim down sights because I just lost track of him, man. Dude, what is teammate doing? God, dude, this thing. The recoil's really tough to control. Especially with the 4X, it doesn't help at all. Just let me in, dude. Holy crap. Don't do the shuffle crap. It's such a silly optic, dude. Dude, what are the spawns? Why do they put hardpoint? Why is hardpoint in my quick play playlist anyway? I have to remove it. I don't even know how this got into my quick play playlist. Oh my god, dude. Why can't he just mantle in, dude? Good god, dude. Dude, this gun is so bad, dude. It's so hard to use.
Hostiles deployed a remote turret. Target area updated. Move to the area.
It's so hard to use, my god, dude. It's so bad. The recoil's high, the damage output is low, and the optic is rubbish, dude. I did what I could, man. I did what I could, man. Yeah, I'm changing the optic. At least the optic needs to go. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm doing another game with this shit optic. It's just too hard to use in its state, dude. Good luck with it if you want to keep it, man, but I ain't keeping it. We ain't keeping that crap, dude. No chance. Do one more game with it the way it is, and then we'll make, well, do a camo also. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to be a puss. We'll do another game with it the way it is. We'll do another game. It's okay. It's okay. If you don't understand that this is a tough build to use, then there's something wrong with you, not me. Maybe this might be better. I don't know. Skid Row might not be great. I don't know which one will be better for this gun, dude. I don't think any map is going to be good. Maybe Shipment. You'll get away with Shipment, I presume. And throw a riot shield on your back, sit in a corner, and use it. The recoil's very bouncy, up, and the damage output's not good. It's fine. Whole point is to try to get us something with this. See if it's even worth it. We'll do gameplays with my build and better builds after. Favela would have played better if we had to change the optic with this.
Friendly UAV on station. We're taking Bravo. Enemy securing Charlie. We control two objectives. Securing objective Bravo. The enemy took Charlie.
Dude, you can't see through the smoke with this thing? I guess.
Friendly UAV online. We've secured the lead. We've secured 2 objectives. Enemy securing Bravo. Bravo is compromised. Securing objective Charlie. Securing objective Bravo.
Oh no.
Objective Bravo. We're taking Alpha.
Are you kidding?
Bravo. Alpha secure. We've taken the lead. Enemy securing Bravo. Friendly Mosquito deployed. We're taking Charlie. Control 2 objectives. Enemy taking Alpha. Friendly cruise missile approaching target.
Dude, why did we flip and not capture C, dude? Come on.
Securing objective Charlie. We hold all objectives. Let's keep it this way. We're losing Alpha. Enemies taking Alpha. Objective Alpha is compromised. UAV is on station. Recon online. Mission half complete. Stay sharp. UAV ready.
He didn't reload fully, or what? Dude, sometimes this reload cancel screws me over.
We're losing Charlie.
This fence is a really good spot for wall penetrations. Not that I should be doing it with this gun, because the penetration's already reduced. But when you're going for like wall penetration camo challenges, that's a really good spot.
Friendly Mosquito active. We're taking Charlie. Objective secure. Keep it up, lads. Bravo. Enemy Overwatch helo inbound. Hostile FAE near your position. Hostile Mosquito is online.
be rubbish trying to take that on. God, I'm working so hard for barely getting anything out of it, right?
Hostile UAV in the area. We control 2 objectives. Securing objective Charlie. We're taking Charlie. Securing objective Charlie. The mission's complete. Good work.
That was better, right? Come on. It was still a struggle. It's not worth it. It isn't worth all the effort. I mean, I guess favela, man. Like, you need a close range build for favela. Like, you can't expect to run a close range gun with a long range optic, and like that wasn't gonna work out regardless, right? So partially the map that screwed me over on that one. I mean, Mastery Cam was kind of a letdown on this, but let's play a game with it, I guess. I'm glad they fixed it so like when it cuts your animation to like load you into the game, it puts you at least into this screen. Before it would like put you in this random spot. The preview it looks so bad. But looks like they did something to fix at least that much. Why am I the only one going for C?
We have taken the lead. Taking Alpha.
Don't come here, man. Kiki, man, just shut up, man. What are you going on about? What the hell was that? I knew the guy was up there, but man, I thought that other guy would have me. Instead, fool up there got me.
You're halfway to mission complete. Finish it.
What is the point in playing? And
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
this, if you're not even gonna.
Taking Alpha. We've lost Alpha. We control the objective. Moving here. Securing objective Alpha. I'm with you.
Dude, why would you give away a position like that, man?
Hostile Mosquito is online. We're taking Alpha. Moving here.
Wait. I guess no penetration through the tree.
Hostiles deployed a Mosquito. We're losing Charlie. Objective Charlie is compromised. Get it back. Moving here.
Dude, what is that teammate doing just lying down there, man?
Hostile cluster mine. We're taking Charlie. Objective Charlie secure. Hostile SAE near your position.
Oh god, this sniper, there's no way I'm gonna hit that with this.
Enemy deployed a counter UAV.
This is getting outgunned by anything and everything.
Bravo. Securing objective Alpha.
I'm good, Slayer.
Mission is complete. Good work.
At least this optic would have made more sense, man. If you're gonna go thermal. So yeah, that's the blueprint the way you get it. It's the optic, it needs to go. Minimum, just switch up the optic. I like to do these streams where we try out the blueprint the way you get it for the very reason to criticize what the hell were they thinking, right? I mean, I struggled. We got one really good game. The second game was really good. But both, I mean, the bulk of the 3 games, it was a struggle and torture trying to like get anything out of this nonsense. So now we're going to try out an alternate build using the Jack Raven kit. So I wanted to keep the kit because, you know, I felt like, okay, this is kind of a part of what this blueprint's supposed to be, right? Using this kit. I've got this build thanks to TheXclusiveAce. It's not something I put together and like, oh, I decided to do this and this should be good. But this was his recommended build for the Jack Raven kit. But even he sort of like said, this is, you know, if you're going to use it, this might be a decent build. It's still not worth using the kit, right? The conversion kit. But yeah, we've got the second line Mammoth Heavy Barrel, RB Regal Heavy Stock, RB Rapid Strike Grip, and then the 40 round mag. So we're maintaining the Jack Raven kit. We've got the top half thing. We've changed the ammunition because, I mean, I guess we could lose the ammunition to maintain the blueprint a tad bit more, but we want to stick with you know what? I'm going to make an adjustment to his build. So we at least maintain blueprint a little bit. Because this is going to be a like closer range build, he was suggesting the 40 round mag. Simply because I want to maintain blueprint, I'm going to throw this on instead, which should keep it quite aggressive, but not for larger numbers of players. You know, we're not going to be able to hit. And I threw on a camo because, you know, why not? But yeah, I thought it looked good with the camo. It cleaned it up a little bit. Let me see. I don't even remember which camo this is, man. Jeez, it's a fun one. Okay. So this is what it looked like without the camo. And it maintains the visuals pretty decently, even if you don't want to throw a camo on to clean it up. And honestly, we could go without camo for this one. Why not? So at least we can see how it maintains blueprint. I'll link Exclusive's channel in the description. Definitely recommend him. I haven't tried any of his Modern Warfare 3 builds, but I'm hoping... this game is definitely the interesting thing is like with all sorts of like stuff that they're doing, seems to also be catering well to the creative like community, like the YouTubers and stuff. Like they have all their niches in COD, right? And this game seems to be catering in all sorts of ways to the various community members with what they're doing. like Exclusive Ace or the people who like to showcase like stats and stuff. There are all these conversion kits that potentially could be fun things for people to try out and test out and see if how viable and the stats and this, that, right, and builds and all. So it gives all those people like tons to do. Plus they've got the events for people like me who like to do event streams and stuff like that. They've got so many things going around that cater towards the social media communities that I think like through this year, I think it'll like the creative YouTubers will like kind of flourish a little bit more than previous years. It's kind of interesting that. What happened, dude? How did we get invasion? I didn't even know, man, what happened there, dude. I was looking forward to high rise, dude. This build would actually play well on a close map. In fact, for that reason, I'm just gonna. Oh, they took out high rise. Meat might be fun with it. Let's roll the dice on the regular map playlist. But if it's a big map, I'm just gonna switch up to meat and we'll play that. This is a close range build for the gun. It's not a long range build, so probably don't want to like go on those open long range maps, wasteland and all. You're gonna get slaughtered. Sub base might get away with it. I mean, it's not as maybe. Afghan now. Yep. You guys voted. I'm out. Let's just do me. I mean, the movement on this is ridiculous. It's actually kind of fun.
Is complete. Good work.
The meat was probably not the best choice, though. Like, you don't really get to, like, experience the gun on a map like this. This is more just like a grind map, right? So you don't really actually get to try out something. And plus, looks like they all sort of rage quit on their team. But yeah, predominantly inspired by Exclusive Ace's Jack Raven kit build, with slight alterations to maintain the blueprint more than anything else. I do feel like this build here, the altered one using the underbarrel instead of the 40 round, you get some incredible movement, like with it. Like you got some good movement. But yeah, it's more like a one and done. You get a quick kill and then buzz off kind of thing quickly. Whereas if you had the 40 round, you could probably take on multiple enemies, you know, and be more confident with multiple enemies. I'd probably suggest going with the 40 round. But if you want to maintain the blueprint while keeping the Jack Raven kit, this is actually a pretty interesting build. So, yeah. For this next build, we're going to try out my build when I did the camo grind for the MCW. The MK3 Reflector Venom stock, A90 Venom stock, 40 round mag, FTAC MSP 98 hand stop, and then the Shadow Strike suppressor. Again, I've thrown a camo on to clean it up a little bit, but let's just show you how it looks without the camo, just so you know like how much is getting lost in the sauce here. Yeah, it looks awful. It looks awful, so you're definitely going to want to throw on a camo on this build to clean it up a little bit. But I thought this was actually a pretty nice camo that blended in well with the thing. I'm curious. Just 1 minute, I'm just curious something. Yeah. There's 1 minute. There's no way that's the case, is it? Maybe it is, dude. Jeez. So is that magazine attachment tied to the blueprint? We'll check that out. But let's start searching for a match. This will be a little bit more aggressive, but still not quite as an accurate build. But you can be a little bit more aggressive with it and still take advantage of just want to see something. Oh, okay. Wait, I don't understand how that works out. So I guess if you remove the kit, the minute you go into the magazine attachment, it removes it. But if you don't go into the magazine attachment, it won't remove it. Oh no, the kit is tied to the magazine attachment also. That's unfortunate. We'll find a different game. Why is Hardpoint on my playlist? Jeez, I forgot to remove it. Like, first game on, I realized Hardpoint was not the scene. They have improved the spawns a little bit in Hardpoint, but it's still a mess. It's still a mess of a game mode. Not complete. Like, some of the maps seem to be okay, I guess. But I guess some of them they have fixed in Hardpoint. Wait, what is going on here?
Securing me. We're taking Charlie.
It looks so different from the
Yo.
preview.
We have taken the lead. We're taking
So it doesn't load in properly with the cameras. So some of the cameras are showing differently from what it's loading into the game, looks like. That's not good.
friendly mosquito deployed. Enemy securing Bravo. Enemies taking Bravo.
Are you kidding me? And
Securing Bravo.
dude, what? I'm leaving. I don't know what teammates doing either, man. The fuck is he doing, man? He just shot into the wall, gave everyone's position away, and then they came and stomped us. Forget that nonsense. Dude, what's going on with the camo coverage, though? That's not the way it's showcased. Like, this looks okay. At least you maintain the blueprint. But then when you go into the game, the camo's taken over the blueprint completely. That alone just threw me off, seeing the camo being so trash, dude.
Kill confirmed. Eliminate all hostiles in the area. Grab their tags.
See, it's gone, like, dude.
Hostile UAV in the area. Friendly UAV online. Enemy overwatch helo inbound.
Don't I have the 40 round mag on this? Alright. God.
Enemy UAV active. Friendly UAV on station. Hostile counter UAV overhead. Hostile mosquito is online. The enemy is gaining ground. Push them back.
What on earth?
Hostile VTOL overhead. Hostile UAV in the area. Deployed. Tag secure. Kill confirmed.
Copy. Counter UAV on station.
No, man.
The enemy holds the lead. Lock and keep.
Counter UAV. Copy that. UAV is on.
Friendly UAV online. Enemy UAV active. Hostile UAV in the area. Confirmed.
I honestly don't know what teammates, what was going on there, dude, with teammates. I was thrown into that mess, I feel. They had already sealed their fate with that one. Move, get out of there. Move. So yeah, that was my build. It's actually a decent build, man. Like the game was just the way it was, dude. I don't know what teammates were doing, how they were feeding that dude so many kills to get his streaks up so high. Like I think he was the one hiding in the corner in the building. I think that was the one. I'm not sure though where he was, who got the streaked up on the enemy team. But more so than that, looks like the camo coverage is pretty disappointing and not matching up what is shown in this game, like in the preview. So another fat L for the blueprint, honestly, more than anything else. So for this last build, we're going to be using, this one's TheXclusiveAce's build fully. We're not going to adjust it. This is how he recommended this build. And this is his accuracy build. So it's going to be something I'm interested in build-wise. He uses the T51R blighted brake, or something like that. Billeted brake. I don't know, whatever. SL Carter heavy barrel. MK3 reflector. RB Regal heavy stock. and then the F-Tac SP10 angle grip. He was singing heavy praises about this barrel being pretty good. So I'm kind of keen on seeing it. Like, yeah, again, we've thrown a camo on it, but I suspect it's going to just take over the whole blueprint in-game. You can see the preview looks decent, right, with the camo. So let's see how it looks in-game. Yeah, his like stealth build was kind of very similar to my build when I went for the camo grind. Like I don't think I watched his video when I made my build, but it was very similar. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look up. Maybe he didn't use an optic or something and he used this barrel or something. I don't know. But yeah, his stealth build was kind of similar to my build. But I think there was differences. There was some differences. That's still Rust, man. Quarries run around the whole map find nothing. I was close to a VTOL, man, and then the enemy's VTOL got me, man. I was trying to get that final few score for mine. Tito, please move. You guys move, please. Stop bugging. Another half hour. Give me a half an hour. Just give me half an hour. I'll give you your food after that. I have a feeling the Camo Coverage is going to be a letdown again. What? How is this a game in progress, dude? How is it loading me in slow or something? Yeah, again, takes over the whole blueprint. It's not showing. It's not the way it was in the preview. Very accurate. Yeah, this is like a laser, dude. Dude, are you kidding? I mean, it doesn't hit very hard, does it?
Friendly UAV on station. Friendly capture. UAV standing by.
Copy. UAV orbiting the AO.
They're overwhelmed.
No, teammate. You saved me a little sooner, man. This guy with his riot shield.
UAV is being refueled. RTB is incoming. Copy. Counter UAV running signal interference.
The mission is complete. Good work.
Nah, I shouldn't have gone into Rust. This is a fun build, but this map again, it just doesn't showcase this build. Like, I think if I was on a really long range map and just like lasering with it, it would have been funner. But whatever. It was very laser-like. I mean, it just didn't really pack much of a punch. It's like, I think sometimes when guns are like super laser-like, and then the time to kill is still very slow. It's like, dude, what's going on with this, right? Whereas when the gun's like kind of heavy recoil, but you're like dropping people faster, that tends to feel better almost. Because you can like drop them a little quicker if you can land those shots quicker. Whereas this one, you're definitely going to land the shots, but it's still going to take forever to kill. Again, Camo Coverage was very disappointing. MCW Geode blueprint. It's the Dark Aether conquered Easter egg blueprint or whatever, secret blueprint, whatever. It's garbage. I think the people who are like playing this up as something special is fooling you. This is like the most trash like blueprint you can get for such a challenge. That's harsh. That's harsh. That's overly harsh. Change the optic. It's decent. It's okay. It's okay. I think the things that fall apart is one, visually, even as like the way it looks, it's not great, right? Build, it's needs 100% adjustment, minimum adjustments, and more adjustments to make it more viable, right? So it's not a great build either. You start changing attachments, you start losing the visuals of the blueprint even more so. Even though it's so basic, there are potential for editability, but a lot of the things that are drawing the like blueprint back are some of the attachments, like the Jack Raven kit, right? That's not a great attachment, unfortunately. The optic doesn't fit what the Jack Raven kit should be utilizing. More so, the ammunition kind of plays off the Jack Raven kit a little bit, but it's more I think this is a more detrimental attachment, the ammo, in combination with the Jack Raven kit. And then, like I said, having the optic makes it like no sense at all, right? It's like, what are you doing? Even worse than that, when there is a nice camo coverage, it doesn't seem to be translating into game. So that's another big L. Like some of them, like here, you see this, and you're like, okay, it's just taking over the whole blueprint. That sucks. I know not to use this like camo. It doesn't look good. You're just gonna lose the whole blueprint. But then you see this, and you're like, okay, this looks kind of cool with it. This looks good. This looks really good, in fact. But it doesn't translate into the blueprint when you take it into game, which is extremely disappointing, right? It's like, oh my God, okay, what's going on here? This is not working out the way it should work out, right? I like, as minimal as this design of the blueprint is, and you can do some fun stuff with the camos, some of them, but it's not translating to the blueprint that you take into the like match. Makes it very disappointing, right? And then I'm going to show you this. We're going to jump into zombies for a second. This was kind of like the big surprise for me when I first unlocked it, because I'm like, oh yeah, let's throw on the blueprint and check it out, right? Okay, we're going to change it just so you can see. I'm not doing anything. There's the Geode blueprint. We've equipped it. That's it, right? So all attachments are there, right? That's how it should be, all right? Equip. Can you see? 3 of those attachments were removed. And I'll show you how it looks. That's how it looks. So it doesn't even look like the blueprint anymore. So I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why that's happening. I honestly don't know why that's happening, because you can see the Raven kit. You can use these conversion kits in zombies. That shouldn't happen. But for some reason, when I'm equipping this blueprint, it refuses to equip 3 of the attachments. It looks like it's equipping the optic and the muzzle, and that's it. And then when you look at the blueprint, it looks like a basic. Except maybe that, well, yeah, it looks basic. And I can't preview this. Like, I guess maybe we can remove this stuff. Yeah, let's remove this. And the barrel was also removed. Okay, so these are the 2 attachments. Now let's equip it and see if it... So I don't know what's going on with it in zombies, man, honestly. Why that happens. All attachments there. Equip. Let's remove them. I don't get it. I haven't taken it into a match, but the fact that it's showing only 2 attachments, I can't imagine it. Like, it is unequipping the attachments when you're putting it into your loadout. There's no 2 ways around it. So it's not like a visual bug, I don't think. So yeah, just generally a lot of negative points for a pretty difficult blueprint to earn. Like, this was not easy to earn. You might get lucky, because there are a lot of people going into the Dark Aether, and they don't seem like, if they have place, they tend to let you join in, right? As long as you seem to be competent enough. So there are plenty of opportunities to jump in, but completing all 3 contracts, even with a random 6-man squad, that's not going to be easy, unless you get into like a very decent, like a few of them being very decent at the game and well prepared for the 3 thing. Like, when we went in both times yesterday, we definitely brought in randos with us. We did, right? We brought in some randos. We managed to pull it off, but at least three of us were communicating with each other when we were in there. The other 3 randos were not communicating, but they seemed to be following along well enough. They were on it for the ride, right? But three of us were kind of coordinating, making sure like we had and we were doing what we needed to do to complete the mission. So some level of coordination and some level of rando somewhat understanding the coordination goes a long way to unlock it. But still, it's a difficult challenge. I think if like the challenge was like just complete the 3 contracts, but you don't need to do it all in one match, if that was the case and you can still unlock the blueprint, then I'd be like, okay, it's a little bit easier. That the escort mission is still very difficult, but you might get lucky with one squad that manages to pull it off and complete it, and then you don't need to worry about the other 2 and all. But yeah, you need to complete all 3. That being said, though, if your squad is capable of completing the escort mission, they're probably going to be capable of completing the other 2. So if they complete the escort mission, they're more than likely going to complete the other 2 and get you your blueprint if you're in that squad, like, you know. And there are a lot of competent zombie players. So it's very likely if you're playing zombies enough, you will find a squad that will eventually do that, right? But yeah, go in a little prepared. Is the blueprint worth it? Not really. Especially, I think it was okay. Visually, it was okay. You know, and I was like willing to accept the Jack Raven kit attachment. I was like, okay, you know, if we're going to go for like some aggressive gameplay with it, you know, maybe, you know. How did I don't know. So I was like, yeah, maybe. But then when I played my build and exclusives like accuracy build and saw like the camo coverage was just overtaking the blueprint, so it suddenly negates all camo coverage in the like blueprint. Suddenly becomes kind of disappointing a build. You know, it's like, oh, okay, so you sort of need to maintain the blueprint and you're limited by a lot of the attachments if you want to maintain the blueprint. And then, you know, it's like, a little disappointed. Little disappointed with it. What to do? I guess it's nice for the collection though, right? And personally, I think if you're going for the Jack Raven conversion kit for the gun, if you're looking for a build, then, you know, it is editable enough that you'll maintain a good chunk of the blueprint to be fun, you know? But I think that kit, it's very niche. And I can't imagine anyone utilizing that kit purposefully as a meta attachment unless they change things around like damage profile wise and all sorts of things, which I don't think they will. So yeah, overall, a little bit of a disappointing blueprint. A lot of games that I struggled with what to do. You know, it is what the blueprint is. I kind of want to do a game where I just use the blueprint, but with a regular optic, and just then I can criticize the build a little bit better. But with the optic, it was a bit of a struggle. I think if you change the optic and you still maintain everything, it'll probably be usable, like closer range, close to medium range. But yeah, change the optic, man. That's all, man. At least, at the very least, do yourself a favor and don't use that thermal scope, which is rubbish. It was so painful. One game I got doing well with it. It was like a huge burden. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my old streams if you haven't already, and I will catch you later. Bye. Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest disappointment about this blueprint was the camo coverage. Realizing the camo coverage was such a mess and not showing up the way it should be in the preview versus game, that was a huge disappointment.